This week on Checking In, we had the pleasure of having Stewart Parke in studio from Parke Pacific Projects, and it was really fascinating to hear from him the helping hand he had from his previous employer in starting his company. So in studio today we have Stewart Parke with Parke Pacific Projects. Yep. And you are the owner that finds the way to get things done.
Yes.
So I found that very interesting. You and I have had the opportunity to meet a few times in community, and we get to do some work together. And I know you're attending our Level Up Leadership Conference, so thank you very much for leveling up your leadership. Although I'm not so certain you need a lot of help with leadership, and I hope you'll give us a peek into that window.
For sure.
When we met, I understand you are 3 years into starting your company.
Yep.
Parke Pacific Projects, and when you decided to start your own company, you had a lot of clients, maybe suppliers, vendors join you?
Yeah. So I worked for another company for almost 20 years. Started off as a laborer with them and worked my way up through every facet of construction in the field, into the office, and eventually was their operations manager. So it's basically running their BC division, and had a lot of clients, oil companies, small independents that their feelings were they were working for me already, right? And so when I did decide to make the move onto my own, they, followed me, no questions asked. So yeah, it was good. Yeah.
That's really a tribute to you and the customer service and everything that they experience with you. So Parke Pacific Projects is a company.
Yep.
You service Western Canada.
We do. And
you build gas stations, strip malls.
So we're a full service, mid-sized commercial general contractor. We definitely specialize in retail petroleum. So we build gas stations, car washes, bulk plants, stuff like that. That's our bread and butter. But we also build, commercial strip malls, and we've built car dealerships and stuff like that in the past. So, yeah.
So you have an office in Kelowna, and I noticed you have a satellite office in Victoria.
We do, yeah.
And I think something that really stood out for me as well was the success that you've had. So Stewart, I have the privilege of meeting with hundreds of businesses a year, and you absolutely have had success that I think not many maybe ever achieve or get to achieve in such a short period of time. So what do you think? So when you started out, was that the plan, or did it come to be?
So we started out, and I had a business plan in mind, and my business plan revolved around some pretty strong core values of family, respect, commitment, integrity, and putting the right people around me too. So we started off, I was in my basement in a linen closet, cold calling, cold calling Suncor and Husky, and remaking those contacts after I left the other company. And we hired, one employee and two, and then we were up to 8 and got an office. And it was, making sure that I was putting the right people around me, and even to this day, making sure that those people feel valued and feel appreciated. And I'm as good as I am, and the success that I have it has to do with all the people around me. So, yeah. Yeah,
True sign of a leader.
for sure.
So I'm interested in knowing how you manage that growth. So I mean, I think it was significant growth in a short period
For
of
sure.
time, and there's obviously staffing issues, but
Yep.
there, or maybe not, or project management.
Mm-hmm.
How did you manage that growth?
Again, finding the right people. A number of the people that work for me now worked with me as well at the previous company. I did leave the previous company on good terms as well, which was a sign of, I went to the owner of that company and kind of laid it out on the line for him, and it kind of, shows their integrity and how they felt about me. When I started my company and was going to be a competitor of theirs, they offered me tools and trucks. And you don't hear that happening too often, right? And so nothing was behind closed doors, and I wasn't burning any bridges. That company flew out to their Edmonton base, flew out to Kelowna to thank me for my 20 years and wish me success and to let me know if there was anything that I needed to help succeed, that they were willing to do that. So
That speaks volumes.
so, yeah. And so then again with some of the employees, I wanted them on my team and they wanted, to be with me. And I, again, phoned them up and chatted with them so it just leads back to, again, core values of
Yep.
integrity, right? Yep. So with the whole growing and where we are today, we expect it to be in 10 years. There's definitely been some road bumps, bumps along the way. And it's just, as a team, we're all willing to grow and learn. And, we're still taking courses and, as a group, we last year did a, construction 101 course. And I mean, we all know how to build, but, we're training and making ourselves better employees, individual people, right?
Mm-hmm. So I understand you are going to be submitting your application or your package for some awards you've been nominated for.
Yep.
For the Business Excellence Awards for the Kelowna Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
It is.
You've been in the community now for 5 years.
Yep.
And Kelowna, how come you picked Kelowna?
So we were in the Lower Mainland, my wife and I and our 3 kids, and I transferred with my previous company about 6 years ago up to the Okanagan to be their operations manager. And we came here planning to be for a year and a half, and we fell in love. And so we're not planning on going anywhere. And then when we decided to open our own company, we knew that Kelowna was going to be the place for our home base. So Kelowna as a city has been wonderful to us. We haven't been able to work super close to home yet. That's the plan moving forward. I think the closest that we've made it is we built a car wash in Enderby. And Esso Tim Hortons in Lumby. We built that one as well. But giving back to the community is, where I live is, one of our priorities for sure. So I do sit on the board for Cseking. So I'm part of that board trying to, donate some time and give back to the construction community. As well, we are an active sponsor with the Parkinson's Society, and our golf tournament every year sponsors that. And we raise money for the Okanagan Food Bank as well at our Christmas parties. And so, the Okanagan Kelowna community is, yeah, we've grown to love it for sure.
Well, I can certainly speak on behalf of the business community of Kelowna, and I know we're very happy to have you. Thank you for picking Kelowna
You're welcome.
as your place to open your business. Is there, as we come close to wrapping up in studio, is there anything that you could share with someone that wanted to step out on their own? And what I'm most interested in is I'd even suggest you were maybe an apprentice of 20 years.
For sure.
And you stepped out, you had the courage. Is there anything you could suggest?
I definitely, I cut my teeth pretty hard at the previous company, made some mistakes over there that I'm not going to make on my own for sure. I hope not to. You know, learned the craft over there, but stepping out onto my own, I still, I was, you know, in the middle of resigning and still questioning myself, and it just having, you know, the courage to take that leap. But also, before I did it, I had a pretty good plan in place, right? It wasn't just, you know, willy-nilly. I had a business plan. I knew, you know, the clients that I was going to phone. I knew the vendors that I needed to get accounts with. I knew, you know, the steps that I needed to take to even set up a company, right? So that was all new to me. But before I, you know, took that last step, I was definitely planning for the future.
Proper planning.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you very much
you're welcome.
for spending time
Yeah.
with us today.
Thanks. Yeah.